Hi everyone, Mike Mirko here, Doctor of Physical Therapy with our Health in Motion Newcastle location. Today's video we're going to talk about hip pain, a quick explanation as to why you might have it, and then one or two things that you could try to start doing at home. So in the world that we live in, so many things that we do, we're sitting. So for example, we'll look at this chair right here. Whenever I'm sitting in this position for prolonged periods of time, like 2 hours or more, these muscles in the front of our hip start to adaptively get short. They get used to being in this short position. That's why people always talk about tight hip flexors. But at the same time, because these muscles are getting tight, there's a cool reflex in our body that when it's used the right way is a good thing. But in this case, when we have tight muscles on one side, it then causes the muscles on the other side, our butt muscles that are supposed to be really strong, it inhibits those muscles and basically keeps them from working. So too much sitting, a lot of times, like I said, more than 2 hours at a time, is causing us to get tightness in our hip flexors and then weakness or just lack of control of our butt muscles that are really important for giving us stability. So a lot of times we'll get hip pain because of that muscle imbalance there. So one thing, a stretch that I'm going to give you first is going to be, it's a pretty low level hip flexor stretch. It's something that's comfortable for a lot of people. You could do this at a couch at home or a bed if it's low enough. All you're going to do is say we want to stretch out that right hip. We're going to lay back and just let that right hip fall off to the side. And the higher the table, the more stretch you're going to get. So if I raise this up a little bit, I don't think you'll be able to raise your couch up at home like this, but it's okay. The higher the couch or the table is, then the more that leg is able to hang down and stretch out the front of that hip. So there's a lot of different ways that you can work on stretching out your hip flexors, but that tends to be a comfortable way that a lot of people are able to do that at home. And then another exercise that I want to mention is a simple one, but a really important one, and it's going to be just tightening up your butt muscles. We refer to these as glute sets. But I would say trying to do maybe 5 reps holding that contraction for 5 to 10 seconds, where you're just trying to tighten up your butt muscles and get used to what it feels like to use those. So to review, we have our stretch here where you're stretching out the front of the hip, and then following that up with glute sets where you're trying to turn on those hip muscles. And then again, the overarching theme is too much sitting. So if we could try to limit the times that we're sitting for longer than 2 hours at a time, that will really help too. So I hope those ideas are helpful for you. And if you have any other questions about hip pain, anyone at any of our Health in Motion locations would be happy to help. Thanks. Have a great day.